That overtime loss was a killer. Let's call the committee of the whole meeting to order. Councilwoman Bell is present, Vice Mayor Losner, and Councilwoman Wallman. Item 2A is the approval of the September 11, 2007 minutes.
So moved.
Moved by Councilwoman Bell. Second? Do a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Wallman. Any comments on the minute? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 3A is bid number 2045, lubricating oils, extension number 2, tab 2.
Mr. Mayor and Council, this is a recommendation by staff that we approve an extension of the above-mentioned bid with Flamingo Oil Company and Young Oil Company, which will take us through September 2008. As you had mentioned, this is the second and final extension with this contract, which was provided for 2 extensions in the initial bid contract.
I'll move approval. This is Ms. Bell's committee, so I'll move approval.
I noticed that. I'm going to let you slide.
I'll move approval.
I'll second it. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes carried. Bid 200510, training extension number 1.
So moved.
Second
Properly
motion.
moved and properly seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes carried. Iowa Planning Group, Professional Planning Services, tab 4.
Move approval.
Second. It's been properly moved and seconded. I don't know about that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes carried. Thank you.
Ms. Bell, any business for the committee of the whole?
No, sir.
Mr. Vice Mayor?
Quick question or comment. Kurt, I know that through the budget process, one of the issues was a reduction in the landscape maintenance of a private contractor that reduced the number of cuts, and I think we're all comfortable at this point with how that will resolve itself. A pretty substantial cut, I think a couple $100,000 out of the budget. It's my understanding that there was a proposal by that vendor to go ahead and made an offer to extend his price for an additional period of years, which I would have thought would have been helpful to you for budgeting purposes. I mean, I want to take note that I think his bid was about $500,000 less than the next lowest bid when it was submitted a few years ago. And to put that out for bid again could open us up to this vendor, or certainly another, very likely to additional costs. What are the thoughts there on looking at that? And maybe, I think the offer was for 5. That's probably unreasonable in terms of the length of the extension was for 5 years. I certainly don't support that, but I'd really like to hear some discussion about whether or not it would be beneficial to extend that for a couple of years anyway, to lock in a price from 2 to 3 years ago.
Well, I don't know that prices are going to go down, period. That's for one thing. But we did have that offer, and during the budget process, we changed the cuts. And so we reduced the cuts of that current contract. And when I spoke to that contractor, I advised him of that when he made his offer for 5 years. And at that time, he thought that might make a difference for him, in his contract. So we came back and we decided to bid it out. And we're in the process. That's where we
is going to bid.
In the bid. Since then, I've been told that he would have gone, anyway, and still had his, I guess he gave it some thought, and would say, I would still have my current standing. But we've kind of gone into putting the bid together. We hadn't put it out yet, but we are.
No, are we at that point of no return where we can revisit that? I mean, certainly we know that the cost per cut is going to increase.
Well, again, we can. I mean, the vendor's been very good. They've done an excellent job. They know the city. They've been there. But this, again, once it gets too much, we figure, well.
How long have you had the contract?
Oh, he's had.
Well, this was a renewal.
But it's probably 5 years.
Was it?
Probably 4 or 5 years.
I was thinking that it's been renewed probably in the last 3.
Yes.
How many times has it gone out for bid? Because I don't think it's gone out for bid
for a while. That's what I'm saying. I think it's
been a long time.
It's been a long time. We need to do it.
Or has it? I don't know.
It was bid 3 years ago, I think, when it was $500,000 lower.
No, we just extended it.
We just extended.
We extended it, yeah, this last year. But I think that he was considerably lower. That vendor was. Probably, again, would be. But I think that I better not say that, so I'll just...
Well, if you could clarify that for us, whether or not the last renewal was an extension or a successful bid. You know, as we sit back here, sometimes we do lose track of time as to how long it has been. My comments were predicated with the understanding that maybe that was 3 years ago.
I think the last renewal was an extension to the bid. It was an extension.
If I recall right, and Marlene, you could correct me, I think this vendor started with us since we had the financial problems. Actually, when the first outsource was given to like a sole source for him, and then after that we bid it, and it's been...
And he was successful on a bid at some point in time, and that's my question. What was the date of that successful bid that was substantially lower than the next one?
I think Marlene's trying to...
I mean, that'd be helpful in future budgeting.
I don't know how quickly she'll do that.
But I guess, based on the 11 o'clock news last night, we do have some reprieve from the proposed amendment, thanks to
Weston.
some close friends of ours.
I thought it was a judge in Leon County
They handled it.
that pulled it. Was it a judge in Leon County that pulled it?
Yes.
Judge in Leon County.
When is the deadline for the rehearing if they decide to?
10 days for rehearing.
10 days for rehearing.
But then they have, that we suspect that there'll be an appeal.
Which probably would not be complete before the January election date?
I think that would be. I think it would be expedited. This judge expedited.
Is that going to be the same date as the Democratic primary, the same date that they're planning in January?
The 29th, 26th?
29th, yeah.
So that'll be a big turnout then.
But the legislature could fix it. I mean, that's all
They
that
could.
really our client really was asking, that it just be clarified. So it'd be, so that it would be clear on the ballot. That's all he was asking for.
Well, also the super exemption was very deceptive. Everybody thought they were getting a
That's
super
what he
exemption,
thought.
and they're not.
That's what he thought, and that's why he filed the last one.
It was for 3 years now. The last bid award was 2003.
2003, okay, so, all
You
right.
were right.
Going into 5 years.
Yeah, that was, okay, so it's expiring now. At this fiscal year, it was a 4-year contract. That does change my thinking a little bit. I mean, we've had some rocks thrown at us in the past for extensions of extensions, but, in that case, it would have seemed to make, we know it's not going to be any cheaper. All right.
And it gets tough because if you got a winner and you're going with them, it's hard to change, but you definitely got to do that periodically, at least give the opportunity.
Because they have been good.
Yeah.
They have been very
Above
good.
and beyond.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all agree on it. But that's the price you pay for government contracts. Everybody knows what your price is and where to
There's one of the
start.
differences of running it like a business.
That's right.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr.
Curtis,
Vice Mayor.
Marlene. Thank you.
Ms. Wallman,
No, sir.
any business? Mr. Manager, anything? Mr. Attorney? Thank you all for coming. Meeting adjourned.
Give him my best, Mayor. Give the mayor my best.
Yeah.